effects. So I've been in the business of home theaters for over 25 years, and over these years, there's so much that we've come across in terms of audio, video, placement, technology, etc. And I'd be really happy to share all this with you. So what I've decided is to make a couple of these short videos, which will be full of tips, suggestions, and various recommendations that will help you get the most out of your home theater. So very often it's not about how much you spend, but about getting it right. So this information will be of great value to you home theater and hi-fi enthusiasts. So let me start this show with tips and guidance on getting the most out of your video device. So every home theater obviously has speakers, has a screen or a projector, and other electronics. So this capsule will be only on the video portion. So in terms of video, you have three options on what you can actually use. You can go in for a traditional TV, which could be an LED or a OLED or whatever kind of type of TV that you may already like. It could be a projector, or it could be a very futuristic LED display. I'm sure you've come across these in malls and other places. One day these are going to be in our homes too. So with a typical TV, size is the most important factor, because the larger the display, the more entertaining your experience will be. Now TVs get more and more expensive as they become bigger, so a lot of people consider projectors instead. But there are some mistakes that people make when it comes to projectors, and I'd like to give you my suggestions on how to avoid these mistakes. So the first and foremost mistake which everybody makes is, when you're going in for a projector, remember, a projector has to match the room that you're in. So if your room is extremely small, please understand the projector can't get far enough, which means the projection screen may not be all that big. So do consider your room size and the size of projection that you will get. The second tip that I would give is to ensure that your screen is an actual screen. Please avoid projecting onto a wall. Most people do that, but again, most homes don't have plain walls without paintings or pictures or clocks or things like that. So if you want to actually project onto a wall, you need a wall that's beautifully surfaced. You need a wall that is painted absolutely white and with nothing else on it. It would be much easier, I think, to actually get a screen. It could be a pull-down screen or a fixed screen. I think if it's a living room, pull-down screen would be best because it would hide when not in use. But if you have a dedicated room, then a fixed screen works great, because a fixed screen is always stretched, so you're not going to have wrinkles, you're not going to have creases on your screen. All of that is visible when you're watching a movie. You may not see it ordinarily, but when you darken your room and you project onto it, it will be seen. The next tip that I would give is, you need a room that can be darkened. Okay, a projection never works in a bright room, no matter how bright a projector you get. So a lot of people say, okay, my room does have some light on it, but I'll get a 5,000 lumen or a 6,000 lumen projector. But that never works. The brighter the projector means a more washed out image. A bright projector works in a conference room or a boardroom when you're actually looking at a PowerPoint or an Excel presentation, but doesn't work in a home theater room, which is why some of the world's best home theater projectors rarely have brightnesses of more than 1500 or 2000 lumens. And that's because when you're watching a 2 or 2.5 hour long movie, watching a very bright image in a dark room is not a pleasing experience. So I would avoid that. Go in for a projector which is about 1500 to 1800 lumens, and that will work best. But that means the room has to get dark. So if you have a room where you unfortunately can't darken it, or you plan to watch your movies in the daytime, avoid a projector altogether, go in for a TV. My next suggestion would be never, cut down on budgets on cables and other electronics. A cable to your projector is extremely important. The quality of the cable determines the quality of the projection of the image that's on the screen. So ensure that you use good quality cables, because the cable that you install is something that you're probably never going to remove for the next 5 or 7 or 10 years. So it has to be a cable that doesn't lose quality over time, it doesn't degrade, and it doesn't, get obsolete. My next tip to you is, no matter how tempted you get by seeing these small compact projectors, which are often sold on Amazon or Flipkart, please remember these never work perfectly for a home theater. For a home theater, you need a projector that is actually theater grade, which means the quality of reproduction, be it contrast, color resolution, or minor image detailing, all of that has to be absolutely perfect for home theater use. There's no point of seeing the face of an actor or an actress that has a completely different color tone. And that's what happens when you use some of these small data projectors. Most of these data projectors don't really have the processing engine to give it the best quality image. So don't get tempted by these small projectors. What you need is a full-fledged projector. Also, avoid a data projector that's meant for office use. Most projectors are good with PowerPoint or Excel, but not good with movies. And lastly, in terms of my suggestion, is remember that when you're putting up your screen and projector, there are lots of bearings on the overall sound quality also in the room. For example, people who use a projector can't use a sound bar with it. That's because sound bars usually take the input from the output of a TV. So TVs have got something called ARC, or the audio return channel. Some of them have got something called EARC. That's the output which comes out of a TV, and that's usually fed into the sound bar. That has the information on the audio signal and the sound separation, etc. Now, projectors rarely have that kind of output. So if you're going to put a projector and use an output of that, you're not going to be able to connect it to anything. So avoid a projector unless, of course, you have an AV receiver. Now, AV receiver is a home theater amplifier with both video and audio processing. So your typical projector doesn't have a great audio output. One last thing is, when you put up a screen, ensure that you know where your speakers are going to be placed, because if your room is such that the speakers will be behind the screen, then the screen has to be an acoustically transparent screen. And what does that mean? It means the sound has to be able to pass through that screen. So you need a screen where sound can go through it without any compromise, which means it has to be acoustically transparent. These are screens that are available in the market, so ensure that you get that if your speakers are placed behind the screen. If they're not placed behind the screen and you're going to place them onto the sides, again, ensure that your speakers have sufficient space to get the proper experience. So those are my tips on video. I'd be happy to do another session for you on audio and other electronics, placements, subwoofers, and more such things. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.